At Helios Automotive Repair Shop, Jack Turner, a 36-year-old single dad with oil-stained coveralls and grease under his fingernails, was fixing a transmission on a brand-new SUV. CEO Vivian Helios walked in. At 31, she had an ice-cold reputation. She was inspecting the shop floor and frowned when she saw Jack using an old military pressure test method. Vivian's voice cut through the entire workshop. "This isn't a military base. You're fired, effective immediately." The whole shop went silent. Jack clenched his fists and bowed his head, his voice barely a whisper. "I still have the afternoon shift. I need money for my daughter's medicine." Vivian turned and walked away with no emotion. "No."
Jack stepped outside the gate. Suddenly, helicopter blades thundered, shaking the ground. A Navy MH-60R Seahawk dropped into the parking lot. An officer shouted through a megaphone, "We're here for Lieutenant Commander Raven 6. The entire shop froze. Jack Turner wasn't always a mechanic, but nobody at Helios Automotive knew that. To them, he was just another worker with oil under his nails and exhaustion in his eyes, always taking the worst shifts.
The truth was that Jack was a single dad raising his 8-year-old daughter, Ellie. Ellie had chronic asthma with severe episodes, the kind that meant emergency room visits, expensive medications, and bills that never stopped coming. So Jack worked double shifts, sometimes triple, oil changes in the morning, transmissions in the afternoon, engine rebuilds at night. He never complained, never asked for help, and never told anyone why he needed the money so badly. The other mechanics noticed things about Jack, though. Strange things, like how he could diagnose an engine problem in 3 seconds just by listening. "Check the valve timing on cylinder 4, he'd say, without even opening the hood, and he'd be right every single time. One of the younger mechanics joked once, "You're like a special ops guy listening for enemy aircraft or something." Jack just smiled and didn't respond. They also noticed his toolbox, military green, scratched and dented, serial number scratched off, NATO stock codes barely visible. Nobody knew where it came from, and Jack never explained. At home, in their tiny apartment, things were different. Ellie would sit at the kitchen table doing homework, wheezing slightly, her inhaler always within reach. Jack would cook dinner, simple food like mac and cheese or chicken nuggets, whatever stretched the budget. But Ellie never felt poor because her dad made everything an adventure. "Did you know," Jack would say, "that transmissions are like puzzles? You have to find the one piece that's wrong." Ellie would beam. Dad knows everything. She was his whole world. Every decision he made, every shift he took, every moment of exhaustion he pushed through, it was all for her. Meanwhile, at the top floor executive office, Vivian Helios sat behind a massive desk reviewing quarterly reports. She was 31 but looked older. Stress aged people fast. She'd inherited Helios Automotive from her father 2 years ago when he died suddenly. The board doubted her, the investors questioned her, and the employees whispered, "She's too young, too emotional, she'll run it into the ground." So Vivian became ice. No mistakes allowed, no excuses accepted, no weakness shown. Control everything or lose everything. That was her father's last lesson. She walked the shop floors daily, clipboard in hand, looking for inefficiency, looking for errors, looking for reasons to prove she was strong enough. That's when she saw Jack using an old technique, a military pressure test, not in the company manual. Different meant wrong, wrong meant weakness, weakness meant failure. She didn't see a struggling single father, she saw a liability. So she fired him in front of everyone. Maximum impact, maximum control, maximum strength. She didn't ask questions, didn't check if his method actually worked, didn't see the way his hands trembled or the way his voice cracked when he mentioned his daughter's medicine. She just saw someone breaking her rules, and she eliminated the problem. The other mechanics watched Jack leave. Some felt bad, most stayed silent. One older mechanic, Frank, 62, who had worked there for 30 years, shook his head. "That man knows things we don't." The younger guys laughed. "Yeah, like how to get fired." Frank didn't laugh. "His toolbox has Navy Special Warfare markings. I was in the service. I recognized them. They ignored him. Old Frank seeing things again. But Frank kept staring at Jack's empty workstation, at the military toolbox left behind, at the faded photo taped inside the locker. Jack in a flight suit, younger, harder, standing in front of a helicopter. The photo was turned face down, like Jack wanted to forget. That night, Jack walked to the pharmacy, Ellie's prescription in his hand. His last paycheck was not enough. The pharmacist looked at him with pity. "I'm sorry, you're $40 short." Jack stood there, silent, defeated. Ellie needed that inhaler and he had failed her. Behind him, someone cleared their throat. He turned. A woman in a Navy officer's uniform, commander's insignia on her collar, was looking directly at him. "Jack Turner?" He nodded slowly. "We've been looking for you, Lieutenant Commander." Jack's face went pale. "That's not my name anymore." She stepped closer. "The Navy disagrees, sir." Back at the shop, word spread fast. Jack got fired. CEO took him down in front of everyone. Brutal. The younger mechanics gathered around the break room. Someone laughed. Guess his military tricks didn't work out. Another one chimed in. Should have followed the manual like everyone else. Probably lied about needing medicine money too. They didn't know. Didn't care. Humiliation was entertainment. Frank, the older mechanic, stayed quiet, but his jaw was tight. Meanwhile, Vivian sat in her office reviewing the day's decisions. Firing Jack felt right, felt strong, felt like control. But something nagged at her. She pulled up the security camera footage, rewound to Jack's workstation, and watched him perform the pressure test. He moved with precision, confidence, muscle memory, not like someone guessing, like someone who had done it 1,000 times in high-stakes situations. She zoomed in, watched his hand movements. Then she opened her laptop and searched for military automotive repair techniques. 5 minutes later, her face went pale. Jack's method wasn't wrong. It was advanced, designed for rapid field repairs under combat conditions. Accuracy rate, 98%. Standard manual method, 73%. She'd fired him for being better. Her hand trembled slightly. She closed the laptop and pushed the feeling down. I made the decision. I stand by it. But the doubt stayed. That evening, Jack walked Ellie home from school. She was wheezing more than usual. "Dad, I need my inhaler." Jack's stomach dropped. "I know, sweetie. We're gonna get it right now." They walked to the pharmacy. 3 blocks, Ellie's breathing getting worse. Inside, the pharmacist saw them, sympathy in her eyes. "Mr. Turner, I'm sorry, you're still short $40. Jack pulled out his wallet, counted bills, counted coins. $38.17. Not enough. Ellie tugged his sleeve. "It's okay, Dad. I can breathe." She couldn't. He could hear the struggle. Other customers stared. Jack felt their judgment, their pity. He was a father who couldn't afford medicine, a man who couldn't provide. The pharmacist leaned in and whispered, "I can give you a sample, just this once." Jack's eyes burned. "Thank you." Outside, he helped Ellie with the inhaler and watched her breathing ease. She looked up at him. "You're the best dad ever." He pulled her close, hid his face because he didn't feel like the best. He felt like a failure. Then the sound. Rotor blades, distant but unmistakable. Jack's head snapped up. Instinct took over. MH-60R Seahawk variant, Navy Special Operations Transport. Why would it be here? The helicopter appeared over the buildings, descended toward the parking lot behind the pharmacy. People stopped, phones out, recording. The side door opened. A female officer, commander rank, jumped out. She walked directly to Jack and Ellie and knelt down in front of Ellie. "Hi, sweetheart. What's your name?" Ellie was shy. The officer smiled warmly, reached into her pocket and pulled out a challenge coin. Navy Special Warfare Eagle engraved, gold trim. She pressed it into Ellie's hand. "This belongs to your dad. He earned it saving 14 lives." Ellie looked at the coin, then at her father. "Dad, what does she mean?" Jack's voice was barely there. "It's nothing." The officer stood and looked at Jack. "Lieutenant Commander, the Admiral sent me personally." Jack shook his head. "I'm not Operation Black Tide. You're the only survivor who could identify the radar signature." The crowd pressed closer, listening, recording everything. Jack's voice hardened. "I left that life." The officer's tone changed, formal now. A soldier is missing. Last known position, Gulf of Aden, 48 hours ago. She pulled out a tablet and showed him scrambled radar data. You flew this exact route 17 times. You know the signal pattern. Jack stared at the screen, his mind already working. He saw it. The anomaly. Third sector, low altitude return. That's not debris, he said quietly. That's a downed bird. Pilot still transmitting. The officer's eyes widened. You can see that from this? Jack pointed. Frequency shift here means rotor drag. He's alive, hiding the helo. The crowd murmured. Someone shouted, "He's like a superhero!" Ellie gripped her dad's hand tighter. "Dad, you save people?" Jack knelt down to eye level with her. "I used to, baby, a long time ago." "Why did you stop?" His voice cracked. "Because I couldn't save everyone." The officer placed a hand on his shoulder. "But you can save this one, sir." Back at Helios Automotive, Vivian's assistant rushed into her office. "Ma'am, you need to see this." She pulled up her phone. A viral video, already 2 million views. The title? Fired Mechanic Revealed as Navy Hero. Vivian watched, frozen. Watched Jack analyze military radar data in a pharmacy parking lot. Watched the officer call him sir. Watched the crowd's reaction. Watched Ellie looking at her father like he was a stranger. The comment section exploded. "CEO fired a hero. This company should be ashamed. Boycott Helios Automotive." Vivian's phone rang. The board chairman, his voice furious. "You fired a decorated military officer? Do you know what this does to our reputation?" Vivian couldn't speak. She destroyed a man's dignity for following his training, for being excellent. The chairman continued, "Fix this now or you're out." The line went dead. Vivian sat in silence, staring at the video, at Jack's tired face trying to protect his daughter from the truth. She'd seen him as a problem. He was a hero hiding in plain sight. The next morning, Navy officials arrived at Helios Automotive. They needed Jack's full analysis. They needed it done now, and they needed a secure location. The Admiral's directive was clear. Bring Lieutenant Commander Raven 6, whatever it takes. Vivian stood at her office window, watching military personnel set up in her conference room, watching her employees whisper and point, watching her company's reputation crumble because she'd been too proud, too rigid, too blind to see the man behind the coveralls. Frank, the old mechanic, knocked on her door. "Ma'am, I tried to tell you Jack was special." Vivian turned. "Why didn't you say something louder?" Frank shrugged sadly. "Would you have listened?" She had no answer, because they both knew she wouldn't have. The conference room filled with Navy personnel, laptops, secure communications, classified equipment. Jack stood at the door, still in his oil-stained coveralls. The Admiral, 62, silver hair, 3 rows of medals, stood when Jack entered and extended his hand. "Lieutenant Commander Turner, thank you for coming." Jack didn't take the hand. "I'm not Lieutenant Commander anymore, sir." The Admiral's expression softened. "Son, you'll always be Raven 6 to us." Jack's jaw tightened. The Admiral gestured to a chair. "Sit, please." Jack sat. Ellie was with a neighbor, safe. That's all that mattered. The Admiral pulled up a holographic display. Satellite imagery, radar signatures, weather patterns. Operation Black Tide, 5 years ago. Jack's hands clenched. "I know what it was." "Then you know why we need you." The Admiral zoomed in on the Gulf of Aden. "Lieutenant Marcus Webb, 34, helicopter pilot. Missing 48 hours. He pulled up a photo. Young face, confident smile. Jack's breath caught. "He was part of the new squadron, trained on the same routes you flew." The Admiral's voice dropped. "The same routes where you lost your team." Jack stood abruptly. "I can't do this." "You already did. At the pharmacy, you identified the signature in 10 seconds. Jack turned away. "That doesn't mean I can save him." The Admiral stood and walked closer. "You saved 14 men during Black Tide, under fire in a storm with a damaged aircraft." Jack's voice broke. "I lost 3. You saved 14. I should have saved 17. The room went silent. The Admiral placed a hand on Jack's shoulder. "The 3 you lost, they made the choice. They held the line so the others could escape. Jack's eyes burned. I was the pilot. I was responsible. You were a hero. You still are. Jack shook his head. Heroes don't quit. Heroes don't end up broke, working oil changes, unable to buy their kids medicine. The Admiral's grip tightened. Heroes do whatever it takes to protect what they love, even if it means leaving glory behind. Jack looked up, met his eyes. The Admiral continued. You didn't quit. You prioritized your daughter over your career, her safety over your reputation. He gestured to the data. But right now, Marcus Webb has a daughter too. She's 6, waiting for her dad to come home. Jack closed his eyes, saw Ellie's face, imagined another little girl waiting, hoping. He opened his eyes. Show me the full data. The room exhaled. Jack spent the next 3 hours analyzing satellite passes, radio interference patterns, weather systems, and ocean currents. His mind worked like it used to, fast, precise, relentless. The Navy personnel watched in awe. He saw connections they missed, patterns they couldn't identify. Finally, he pointed to a specific coordinate. Here, 17 nautical miles off the Somali coast. He ditched in a coral reef system. The intelligence officer frowned. Our scans show nothing there. Jack zoomed in. Because the coral creates a radar shadow. The helicopter's titanium frame is hidden beneath the reef structure. He pulled up tidal data. He has maybe 8 hours before high tide covers the cockpit completely. The Admiral grabbed his radio. Scrambled rescue now.
Meanwhile, outside the conference room, Vivian waited. She'd been standing there for 2 hours watching through the glass, watching Jack work. She'd never seen focus like that, pure, absolute life or death concentration. This wasn't a mechanic, this was a warrior. The door opened. The Admiral stepped out. Miss Helios, we need to speak. They walked to her office. The Admiral closed the door. Your employee, Jack Turner, do you know what he did? Vivian's voice was quiet. I'm learning. The Admiral pulled out a folder and handed it to her. She opened it. Service record, commendations, mission reports. Operation Black Tide. 17 Navy SEALs pinned down. Enemy fire, storm conditions, 0 visibility. Lieutenant Commander Jack Turner, call sign Raven 6, flew into the kill zone twice. First run, extracted 14 men, damaged aircraft, hydraulics failing. He could have left, should have left. He went back for the last 3. Took enemy fire, engine hit, crash landing. He survived. His co-pilot, his crew chief, his gunner didn't. He pulled them from the wreckage and defended their bodies for 6 hours until rescue arrived. Vivian's hands shook. He saved 14 lives, and you're punishing him for losing 3 he couldn't save? The Admiral's voice was steel. I'm not punishing him. Life is. He punishes himself every single day. Vivian looked up, tears in her eyes. I fired him. I know. I humiliated him. I know. How do I fix this? The Admiral stood. You start by seeing him, really seeing him. He walked to the door, paused. Jack Turner chose to leave the Navy, not because he was weak, but because he found something stronger. What? A reason to live instead of a reason to die. He left. Vivian sat alone, staring at the folder, at Jack's photo in uniform. Younger, harder, eyes that had seen too much. Then she pulled up the security footage again. Jack in coveralls, smiling at co-workers, head down, working, hiding. Not from shame, from pain. She grabbed her coat and drove to Jack's apartment. It was small, run down, paint peeling. She knocked. Jack opened the door, surprise on his face. Miss Helios? She saw past him, saw Ellie playing with the challenge coin, saw the empty fridge through the kitchen doorway, saw the medical bills stacked on the counter. She saw everything she'd been too blind to notice. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry. Jack just stared. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. I didn't try. Ellie walked over, tugged Jack's sleeve. Dad, is this the pretty lady from TV? Vivian knelt down to eye level with Ellie. Hi, sweetheart. I'm Vivian. I work with your dad. Ellie smiled. You look like a superhero, like Wonder Woman.
Vivian laughed, a real laugh, first time in years. Your dad's the real superhero. Ellie beamed. I know. Vivian stood and looked at Jack. Can we talk? Jack nodded. They stepped outside. Vivian took a breath. I was wrong about everything. You weren't breaking the rules. You were showing excellence. Jack stayed quiet. I fired you because I was scared. Scared of being wrong. Scared of losing control. She met his eyes. You deserved respect. I gave you humiliation. I'm sorry. Jack's voice was soft. I'm used to it. You shouldn't have to be. Silence stretched between them. Then Jack spoke. They found Marcus Webb 2 hours ago, alive, because of the coordinates. Vivian's eyes widened. You saved him. Jack shook his head. I just remembered the ocean. The team did the rest. You're still a hero. Jack looked back at his apartment, at Ellie through the window. I'm just a dad, trying to keep my daughter safe. Vivian smiled sadly. Maybe that's the bravest thing of all.
The next morning, emergency board meeting. Vivian stood at the head of the table. 8 board members, all older, all skeptical. The chairman spoke first. Ms. Helios, we're here to discuss your termination of Jack Turner. Another board member chimed in. The PR disaster, the viral video, the boycott threats. We look like villains. Vivian took a breath. Gentlemen, I didn't call this meeting to defend myself. Silence. I called it to reinstate Jack Turner with a promotion. The room exploded. Absolutely not. He's a floor worker. This sets a terrible precedent. The chairman banged his gavel. Ms. Helios, we cannot promote someone we just fired. It shows weakness. Vivian's voice cut through. No, firing him showed weakness. Bringing him back shows integrity. She pulled up the viral video on the big screen. This man identified a missing pilot's location in 10 seconds. The Navy couldn't do it in 48 hours. She pulled up his service record. This man saved 14 lives under fire in conditions that would kill most people. She looked each board member in the eye. And this company humiliated him in front of everyone for using a technique that was 98% accurate. The chairman leaned back. What are you proposing? Director of Technical Operations, full benefits, housing allowance, medical coverage for his daughter. That's a senior position. He's qualified? He has no degree. Vivian's voice rose. He has something better, real-world experience that saved lives. The room murmured. One older board member, a retired general, spoke up. I know Operation Black Tide. It was classified, but I know. Everyone turned to him. If this is the same Raven 6, we owe him more than a job. We owe him our respect. He stood. I vote yes. One by one, hands raised. The chairman, last to vote, finally nodded. Approved, but Vivian, he has to accept. That afternoon, Vivian found Jack at the elementary school. He was picking up Ellie. Other parents stared. The viral video made him famous. Jack hated it. Vivian approached carefully. Jack, can we talk? He tensed. If this is about the video, I didn't ask for any of that. I know, that's not why I'm here. She handed him an envelope. What's this? Your new contract, if you want it. Jack opened it, his eyes widened. Director of Technical Operations? This is a mistake. It's not. Vivian, I'm a mechanic. You're a leader. You just forgot. Jack shook his head. I can't lead people. I couldn't even save my own crew. Vivian stepped closer. You saved 14. That crew survived because of you. 3 died. Because of me, 3 died. Serving. You survived to honor them. Jack looked at Ellie playing on the swings. Vivian continued. She deserves a father who doesn't have to work 3 shifts, who can afford her medicine, who can give her a future. Jack's voice cracked. I don't deserve this. Yes, you do. Ellie ran over, grabbed Jack's hand. Dad, are you crying? He wiped his eyes. Happy tears, baby. Ellie looked at Vivian. Are you making my dad happy? Vivian smiled. I'm trying. Ellie pulled the challenge coin from her pocket and handed it to Vivian. You keep this. for helping my dad." Vivian knelt down, took the coin. "Sweetie, this belongs to your dad." Ellie shook her head. "Dad says heroes share, so you're part of our team now." Vivian's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Jack. He was smiling, really smiling for the first time since she'd met him. "Okay," Jack said quietly. "Okay, I'll take the job. For her." Vivian stood, extended her hand. "Welcome back, Director Turner." Jack shook it. "Thank you, Miss Helios. Call me Vivian." Ellie jumped between them. "We're Team Raven now." They both laughed, real, genuine, healing laughter. 3 weeks later, Jack's new office was clean and organized, with photos of Ellie on the desk. He wore a button-down shirt. It still felt strange, but Ellie had picked it out, said he looked official. The technical team respected him, listened, learned. He taught them the military methods, the faster, more accurate ways. Productivity increased 23%, quality control errors dropped to nearly zero. The board was impressed, but Jack didn't care about that. He cared that he could afford Ellie's medicine without counting coins. That afternoon, Vivian knocked on his door. "Got a minute?" Jack gestured to a chair. She sat, looked nervous. "I wanted to thank you. The company's reputation is recovering because of you." Jack shook his head. "I'm just doing the job." "You're doing more than that. You're changing the culture here." She paused. "People feel safe making suggestions, trying new things, because you listen." Jack smiled slightly. "In the military, good leaders listen, bad leaders talk." Vivian laughed. "I was a bad leader." "You're learning." She pulled out the challenge coin, Ellie's coin. "I want to give this back. It belongs with your daughter." Jack closed her hand around it. "She gave it to you. She meant it." Vivian's eyes watered. "Why?" "Because I hurt you. I hurt her. Because she sees people the way I used to, before war taught me to see threats." He stood and walked to the window. "Ellie still sees the good first. I want to protect that." Vivian joined him. "She's lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have her." They stood in comfortable silence. Then Vivian spoke softly. "Jack, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Do you ever stop seeing them, the ones you lost?" Jack's voice was quiet. "No, but now I see the ones I saved too."
That balance helps. Vivian nodded. "I'm trying to find that balance between strength and compassion." Jack looked at her. "You're getting there." Below them, through the window, Ellie played in the company daycare, happy, healthy, safe. Jack's voice was barely a whisper. "She asked me last night if heroes ever get to rest." "What did you tell her?" "I said the best heroes find new battles worth fighting." Vivian smiled. "And what's your battle now?" Jack watched Ellie laugh, making sure she never has to fight mine. Vivian placed a hand on his shoulder. "You're not fighting alone anymore." Jack turned, smiled genuinely. "I know." Outside, the sound of helicopter blades, distant, fading. Jack didn't flinch, didn't tense, just watched his daughter play, finally at peace. Sometimes we judge people by the uniform they wear, the title on their business card, the car they drive, the house they live in. We see the surface and we stop looking. But beneath every ordinary face, there might be an extraordinary story. A single parent working 3 months, fighting for their child's future. A veteran carrying invisible scars, choosing peace over glory. A leader who learned humility through devastating loss. Jack Turner didn't need a title to be a hero. He was a hero when he wore coveralls, when he counted coins at the pharmacy, when he chose his daughter over his pride. True honor doesn't demand recognition. It works quietly, serves humbly, protects fiercely. And when the moment comes when someone needs saving, that honor rises, not for applause, but because it's right. Vivian learned that judgment without understanding is cruelty, that control without compassion is tyranny, that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is admit you were wrong. We all have the power to humiliate or to elevate, to destroy dignity or to restore it. The choice defines us, not our titles, not our wealth, not our authority, but how we treat people when we have the power to hurt them. That's when character shows. That's when heroes are made. Not on battlefields, but in everyday moments of kindness, respect, and human decency. Subscribe to Military Stories if you believe true honor never fades, no matter where life takes you.